So when you receive your new fan after you get it uncrated, there are a couple steps that you need to take for your initial startup procedure. So the first step is we're going to access the inside of the unit by removing 2 screws and a pad so that we can get to the float valve assembly. So I'll turn the fan around here and you can see our first screw. There's one on each side. It'll just take a 1/4 inch nut driver to remove this. Now that we have the 2 screws removed, we'll hinge the top cover and we'll remove 1 or 2 of the pads and set them aside. In the bottom of the reservoir, you'll see the green float valve assembly. This assembly controls the water level and the input of water into the unit. We place a small piece of tape on this float so that it doesn't rattle around or get damaged during shipping. So one of the first things you'll need to do is remove this tape. That tape can be discarded and then we will proceed with reinstalling the pads. When you're placing the pads back in the unit, you want to take note of a couple things. One, these pads are directional, so there is a top and there is a bottom. The coating is always going to face to the exterior of the unit, so you can see this coating is facing out to the back. And there's also some arrows on these pads that say up and airflow. So your airflow is pulling through the coated side to the interior of the fan, and then this up arrow shows you what the top side of the pad is. So I'll go ahead and replace those pads. These pads should have a snug fit, so some of them you may have to move around and shift in order to get them back into place. So now with my pads back into place, I'll close my hinged cover and I will replace my 2 screws. And then the next thing we'll do is start the saturation process. So when these pads are new, they have a very slick finish. And for evaporative cooling to work most effectively, we want these pads to saturate and hold water. And so we recommend 2 to 3 hours of running the pump without the fan running in order to what we would consider break these pads in. Now, this is not going to damage the fan if you don't do that, but without doing that, you're probably not operating at the most efficient level.